Holy damage! Oh my... God! This is one of the strongest defensive character in Path of Exile 2, and the damage is also amazing. You can stand still in the map and not die to it and delete any bosses under a few seconds even on a 5-link. What's up guys, Pidget here. The build is utilized the Invoker Monk Ascendancy, protect me from harm. Our evasion rating is also providing percentage physical damage reduction, which is most of the builds lacking, while also reaching around 80% evade chance and getting around 1.4k energy shield, which can be much higher, around plus 2k when you reach the super late endgame. Also, every time we getting a hit, we will getting back around 400 energy shield as well because of the ghost dance buff. The damage is coming from gas arrow and flame wall interaction and stacking percentage elemental damage on 3, added elemental damage where we can, and important additional arrow from our weapon as well, because the additional projectiles is providing even more damage. Right now I'm only using a 5-link, because I don't know how much they will nerfing this interaction, so I will wait a little longer before I upgrading to a 6-link. I will just showcase very quickly the gear we're using. You can just pause the video if you want on the PCs, but generally you aiming on the PCs. First, the evasion and energy shield bases everywhere, because we're scaling both, and also evasion provides us physical damage reduction as well. So if you taking, for example, if I taking out my body armor, it will lower down my physical damage reduction from 70% to 54%. So this is a very big loss if you're not using the correct bases. We aiming every single piece, resistances, life, you know, even more evasion, energy shield, and on the weapon we aiming high physical damage or some sort of physical damage, and mostly you want to use a dual sting bow because an additional arrow is straight up a damage multiplier for this build, and the keyword you looking flat damage, projectile speed, attack speed, and if you need dexterity, because the build is very dexterity starved because of the skill gems that we using. And we on waitng, by the way, allocates bestial skin. What is bestial skin do? This is increasing our evasion rating from the body armor. This is providing us 800 evasion rating alone. So how is the build plays? You just literally running around and putting down your gas arrow, you using your flame wall on the top of the enemies, and this is where is your damage coming from. Let's move on to the gem links. So we're using gas arrow, as I said earlier. This is our main damage source. We're using scatter shot here because this is 2 additional projectile, and this is straight up damage multiplier because of the skill is interacting with additional projectiles. Using martial tempo, you know, more attack speed, so you will attack faster, and using primal armament, this is 25% more elemental damage. This is just straight up damage multiplier. Using magnified effect, so this is more area effect. This is all clear, but when you doing bosses, just swap out to the consecrated effect. This is 40% more area damage. Right now, as you can see, I just on a 5-link. Again, I don't know how much they will nerf this interaction or the build, so I just holding on it till they you know, putting in the game the changes about this one, and then if I seeing it's kind of still playable and feels good, then I will upgrade it, but not right now. The next thing is the flame wall. So this is our, you know, detonator skill. This is how we generating damage, because without this one the gas arrow is not doing anything. We're using flame wall detonator, so you need to target the enemy and you just pressing your flame wall and immediately blows up. Links for the flame wall: arcane tempo, casting faster because we don't have that much base cast speed for this build. We scaling attack speed, not cast speed. Support skills has more skill effect duration from the persistence. Support gem, so our flame wall will last even longer, and we using spell cascade. What is spell cascade doing? You will put down 3 flame wall instead of 1, and the curse that I mentioned earlier, flammability, so this is lowering the enemy fire resistance, very strong. Do not forget to use on even sometimes on rares, because some rares can have high elemental resistance and you will notice they not want to take damage, so you can help with that using for the flammability focused curse. So curse zones from support skill erupt after 30% reuse delay, so this is faster activation speed. You can see when it blows up, this is when the curse is active. You will see a debuff icon, exactly this debuff icon on the enemy when your curse is active, so you can blow up your Gazero. Hanged curses, even more curse effect, and inspiration, because in Path of Exile 2 curses is costing so much mana. So without this one, look at this, 240 mana. So this is why the inspiration 40% less cost, so you will have less cost. And now let's talk about the escape ability. So we're using escape shot. This is just for emergency, absolute emergency, but guys, most of the time I just, instead of using this ability, just using another Gazero at my feet and blowing up, so everything around me will die. Now is the magic. Where is the damage reduction and all the sustainment is coming from? So we're using Wind Dancer. What is Wind Dancer? Wind Dancer grants a buff. What is Wind Dancer? This is a buff. You need spirit for it, and this will grants you stacks, and it can have 4 stacks. Every stacks is giving you more evasion rating per stacks, so this is very, very good when you stacked up. This will provide, I would say, one-shot protection. So the links for this one: blind, when you take a hit, you will blind your enemies. The blind is making the enemy less likely to hit you again. We using cannibalism, 4% life recovery on kill, so this is very, very good, especially we have 2.2k life, so that's very, very noticeable. The next one is the Ghost Dance. So what is Ghost Dance? Ghost Dance is a buff that can stack up 4. Every time when you take a hit, you will recover 5% of your evasion rating as energy shield, transitioning 500 energy shield when you take a hit. 500 energy shield, so yeah, we almost can just get back our energy shield very, very quickly. So this is very, very good, especially on mapping. It will feel so good when you just taking a few projectile hit and you not so guys, I most of the time, if there is no ground regen, I'm not using my life flask at all. It's very, very comfortable to run. Elemental Conflux. What is Elemental Conflux do? Every 8 seconds you getting randomly choose an element, and that element we are getting boosted by 53% more damage to that affected element. Right now we have the lightning conflux, so our lightning damage will deal 50% more damage, and this can roll cold and fire as well. Now the passive tree, guys, so the passive tree got changed very, very big time. So the big changes, we're not taking this, we starting here to get evasion and energy shield here. So the base idea of the build, again, evasion and energy shield stacking, so we taking many evasion and energy shield nodes here, and down here, and also down here, and again we anointing the bestia skin for more evasion, and up here we taking the spectral ward, maximum energy shield per 12 evasion rating or body armor. This is providing us pretty decent amount of energy shield, and also don't forget this nodes is also increasing our evasion and maximum energy shield. And we're getting lots of travel nodes, because again this is very, very stat starved, because you need 133 intelligence and 211 dexterity, and this will help you fulfill that, because the attributes rings and amulets is kinda expensive if you looking with resistances, so that's very, very in your gearing process much cheaper. I'm also using a few javel as well, you can see here. So most of the time I looking evasion and elemental damage on the javels, and any other stat that is coming with these two stat is welcomed. And you can see here as well, so this is giving you even more evasion and elemental damage, so this is defensive and offensive at the same time. And now a few words about the ascendancy, guys. So again, the most important thing here is these two up here, taking the lead me through grace. This is grants you spirit, because you can see here we have 208 spirit right now. This is how we can fit in these two buff and the elemental conflux as well. So without this and without a good evasion and energy shield or body armor, you will not able to fit in. But don't worry about that, so you can just drop the elemental conflux if it doesn't have a good body armor. And the next one is and protect me from harm. This is the key to be very, very tonky and survive big hits and small hits at the same time. So physical damage reduction from armor is based on your combined armor and evasion rating. So and you don't need to worry about the armor part because we're not scaling armor, we're not doing anything with armors, we're just stacking evasion, and we are getting very big, again, very big damage reduction from the evasion armor. Ascended, so I get right now I am the Thunder, gain 10% of damage as extra lightning damage. This is very good because our big explosion is dealing fire damage, so the higher the fire damage, the higher will be the lightning damage as well. And with this we can utilize the lightning damage conflux as well. And the last step, I debating between the Fate is Chose, that is grants a meditate skill, so we will double our energy shield, so almost 3k energy shield sounds like very good for bossing. But also, if you want more damage, gain 10% of damage as extra cold damage, so your cold conflux will increase your damage. So overall, all of your conflux will give you very big damage boost just for 1 aura. I hope you enjoyed this video about my Gazero Invoker Monk super tonky build. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Peugeot2. I would like to say thank you for my Patreons for supporting me. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. I was Peugeot. See you next time.